Welcome in, Raiders! We will be live with you in a short few moments. Just going to give Alex time to get down and get settled, and then we will be going live shortly. In the meantime, enjoy our lovely poster and some nice Hero Forge models I made for you down in the bottom right corner there. We'll be with you live shortly. Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to the premiere episode of Step into the Quantum. Before we go round and say hello to these wonderful faces around our screen today, I have a few announcements to make as I try and figure out how to do this without punching my mic. First, check out our social links. Discord, Twitter, and YouTube. Discord, I think we're pushing around 1,000 people in Discord now. We're doing pretty well over there. There's a hell community over there. Come and be a part of it. It's pretty respectable. Full of wonderful people. I can pretty much vouch for every single one of them. So come on in. They'll be very welcoming. If you want to get into a game, this game or one like it, send me a DM on Twitter. I'll get you into a game. I only have around 100 people on my list at the moment waiting for games, and that's we'll smash through that. And YouTube. Go and catch up on all the games over on YouTube. Sponsors. First of all, a shout out to Magehand Press. Magehand Press make third-party content for 5e, including the Dark Matter book, which is available in hardback for pre-order now, because I badgered the heck out of them to make it available for pre-order. So go and order it. Justify me. And also check out The Deck of Many, who also have a hardback book available in the Humblewood setting, and also The Deck of Many Things, The Deck of Many Animated Things, all of those good things. They're all on a Black Friday offer now on the Deck of Many store, so go and check that out too. If you spend over $100, you can get free shipping with my special code. Lastly, Hero Forge. You might have seen the miniatures on the way in. Go and check them out. You can go and create your own miniatures for your own character. They're hilariously customizable, and you'll lose your lunch breaks to it, but you should go and do it anyway. It's a lot of fun. Okay, I've babbled. Let's go around and say hello to everyone. Josh, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Super excited to run this game that I've been planning meticulously for 2 months now, I think. I'm very excited. I'm doing some ambitious things as a game master, but hey, that's what this is for, right? That's what Scratticus Academy is for, is trying out new things. So let's see. Yeah, you can follow me if you're interested in getting in touch. I'm on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Joshua Barbeau. I think it's on the screen somewhere. No, but my name is on the screen, and it's exactly like that. And this is going to be a very special game. If you haven't figured it out yet, it will heavily feature time travel, and it is using the paranoia system. If you know anything about the paranoia system, you know that it comes with a lot of baggage. The paranoia system is normally exclusively attached to the paranoia setting. The idea of using a system that encourages players to backstab each other in a setting outside where of where it was intended to be used is a little insane, but I've modified it a little to make it suitable for this game. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that, and I'm excited to get started.
Hell yeah! Thank you very much, everyone, for the retweets as well. We're up to 7 retweets. Thank you very much. Josh, I don't know if you have anything planned for like retweet reward things, like Wild Magic Surgery things for every 10. We can figure it out. We'll talk about that as we go. Let's do it live.
Yeah, let's do it live. Let's do it live.
I totally prepare my DMs for every eventuality, everyone, all the time. I didn't also just make my character like 5 minutes before the show. I actually didn't this time. Alex!
No. Well, you may have named your character 5 minutes before the show, but it was made a while ago.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Alex, how are you?
I am the same as you. I named my character a second ago. But created my character a week ago, so that's an improvement for me.
I can't believe you've gone for another Ari.
Hey, my character names are always a variation of Ariava Surana. It's always a variation, so that's why we end up with Suri, Ari, Ava. Sometimes we've been Ava and things like that. Yeah, it's always some form of it. But hi, my name is Madam Gandalf, and I'm excited to be here with the viewer games. I shall be returning each week with Scrat, and I'm excited to play with new people. It's so lovely to see you, Rachel, and of course, Drew as well. So thank you so much for being here, and I'm excited to play with Joshua for the first time. So thank you.
I'm excited to play with you too.
Fantastic. Let's bounce around the screen down to Rachel Kaiji. Oh, hi. How you doing?
Hi, I'm Rachel. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RachelKYG. This is my first time playing on stream, and so I'm very excited to be playing on Scratticus. And
so welcome.
yeah, so I'm very excited for this game.
We'll look after you. We will take you and nurture you and look after you. You'll be fine.
Rachel has made an amazing character, and I am super excited to see her play it. But you'll learn more about her character in a minute or two.
I see Mackenzie going hype in chat as well. We'll bounce next around to Drew on Twitch. Oh, hi, Drew.
Oh, hello. My name is Drew. I normally play Dungeons and Dragons. I play in a weekly game, but I'm really excited to break out of that box and into a new type of role playing. And I'm very lucky to be doing it here. So thank you for having me, guys. You can definitely follow me on Twitter if you want, but only if you like bad dad jokes. So.
Yep. Follows incoming. And me. There's just me. Oh, hi. I'm me.
Yeah.
I can't introduce the character. I normally do that after the intro thing, so I'm just like... I could go into the sponsor spiel again, but, I mean, I've already done it once. Hi, everyone.
Yeah. Everyone knows you. You're the star.
Oh. You say so.
You know, you evoke emotions and stuff.
So they say. I've heard it said on the streets.
Yeah. So yeah. Don't be intimidated if you've never played this system before. The paranoia system is a very simple D6 system. So it's just you have some stats, and those will determine how many D6s you're rolling. And when you roll the D6s, 5 and 6s are considered successes, and you're looking to get a number of successes based on how difficult the challenge is. But that's everything. I think we're ready to get started. If everyone's ready to get started, I'm ready to get started. We all ready to get started?
Let's do it.
Okay. So welcome to Step into the Quantum. This game takes place in an alternate Earth. Some things are very similar to our history, whereas other things are going to be completely different. Don't let these similarities fool you into thinking that it is the exact same as you expect it to be. But that said, we are going to pick up this game in an alternate version of 1974 America, New York specifically. And we're going to turn our attention to Caroline. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Caroline. We're going to turn our attention to Caroline. And Rachel, why don't you introduce Caroline and tell us a bit about who she is?
So Caroline is the personal assistant of a very important CEO. She's a pretty mousy girl, dirty blonde hair and like a ponytail, pencil dress, cardigan, very like straight A type A. So, yeah.
So Caroline, she's like you said, she's the personal assistant of a CEO.
Mm-hmm.
That CEO is a man named Timothy Dwyer, and he is very important. He runs a very successful publishing company. You may have heard of it. It's called Simon and Schuster. And this morning, he's giving you a phone call pretty early in the morning. So your phone is ringing, and you can see when your phone is ringing. It looks like you have several messages on your answering machine. Yes, they had answering machines back in 1974, but they're not anything like the voicemails that we all have on our pocket phones today. Still, it's blinking, and it says 7 missed calls.
I mean, obviously I would answer the phone. He would be the only one who would be calling me.
Of course. Caroline, I need your help.
Mr. Dwyer, yes, of course. What is it?
Yes. Well, I need you to. How quickly can you get to my place?
20 minutes?
20 minutes. Perfect. Yes, of course. It should be a very simple. I think it's just one subway line from where you're at, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect.
I've taken it many times.
Yes, I need you to get over to my place, and I need you to take the kids to school.
Okay, of course.
And then I need you to meet me at an address I'm going to give you. I need you to bring a suit.
A suit?
Yeah, from my place, which you're going to pick up when you stop there.
Oh, of course.
To
For
give,
you. Oh.
to take my kids to school. And if my wife asks, I was away last night on a business trip, a very important business trip.
All right. Yeah, will do. Of course.
Perfect. So I'll see you when you get here. Oh, the address. Yes. It's. Wait, do you have a pencil and a paper?
Of course, always.
All right. It's 542 Fifth Avenue. And
Okay.
yeah, but you better hurry over to my place. But you know, it's not as much of a rush to get here as long as nobody else knows I'm here.
All right. Of course.
All right. We'll talk soon.
Will
Bye.
do. Bye.
And he hangs up. So you live in the I'm gonna say you live in New York, upper side. I know lots about New York. Don't call me out for knowing nothing about New York. Upper East Side. Yeah, you live in the Upper East Side. And you know that getting to his house, you've gone there several times. It's very simple. You get on the subway at Pelham Bay Park Station, and you ride it. You ride it 9 stops and get off, and his place is. The other address he gave you is going to take a little more doing to get there. It's downtown, but he said you didn't have to rush for that one, as long as his wife primarily didn't know he was not on a business trip. So that's the instructions he gives you, and if you're ready to go, then do you do anything before you head out to take the subway?
I get ready. I finish up my makeup, and then I gather all my books and my notes and the things that I like, a planner for the day, and then I head out.
Perfect. So you get all your stuff ready. You head out. It's a busy New York morning. There's people all filing towards the subway station, as they do. Pelham Bay Park Station is right next to a really big park, so it's kind of a scenic place to live if you live in that area. But it's rather nice. You rush for the station, and you're able to get on the bus no problem. It's just the usual, a usual morning, nothing unordinary about it.
Another ordinary day.
Before I shift the attention, why don't you tell us one last thing? What are Caroline's hopes and dreams? What is it that originally attracted her to working, even if it's just as a personal assistant, for one of the biggest publishing companies in New York?
Well, a publisher is very technological. They work with a lot of different systems of work, and so as my goal of being a computer scientist, I decided to take the offer when it was given to me.
Definitely, they are publishers are very forward thinking in terms of using technology to better their industry. Some of the innovators in the industry are even saying that one day maybe people might even read books on computers. Who knows? Computers being these big boxy things, but that are very impractical. But maybe one day. The thing that got you hired was actually because you are correct me if I'm wrong, an expert typewriter.
Yeah, that and
an important skill to have.
Mr. Dwyer's cousin.
And you're Mr. Dwyer's cousin. You're perfect. So it's not always what you know as much as who you know.
Exactly.
Perfect. So we're gonna shift the attention now, not just to somewhere else, but somewhen else. We're gonna shift forward in time, and an amount of time that is almost infinite. There is, at some point in the distant future, a special secret agency that uses time travel to correct the timeline. What they mean when they say they're looking to correct the timeline is they want things to go a certain way, and make things turn out so that sometimes bad things happen, sometimes good things happen, but overall the human race progresses towards general prosperous future, whichever prosperous future they decided was the idyllic one. And they have a secret headquarters which is located in a pocket dimension that is outside of space and time. So at some point in the future, they've been able to bend time, and as such, they were able to build this base using their knowledge of temporal mechanics. They were able to build this base in a fold in time so that it is separate from time. This is important because that their headquarters is thus protected from changes to the timeline to a limited degree. And that is where we're going to turn our focus. Let's start with Madame Gandalf. Why don't you tell us everything we need to know about Ari?
Ari has been working with Elwood for a long time now. Sometimes it feels like just yesterday. Sometimes it feels like it was 100 years in the making. And she's already was sick and tired of it from minute 2. But alas, she has to do this job, and apparently Elwood is the only person that her job will match her with when it comes to who sits behind the desk and who she gets to send out on the field. Elwood is the bane of her existence, but also the reason for her existence. She would not really be here without him, and she's grateful for all the opportunities he provides, because despite the fact that she cannot stand him, God damn it, he does a good job. He does do a good job, even if it stresses her out every part of the way. So she just wants to make sure that the world will be a safe place for her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren, and she also wants to know that her grandmother and great-grandparents had a pretty decent lead up to it. That's
very important. And yes, the agency, the way the agency works out is that it usually will pair a temporal engineer with a field agent who then work together to take care of business, kind of like a James Bond being paired with Moneypenny. I think that was the person that if I know a thing or two about James Bond, or something like that. So yes, you're the temporal engineer, sits behind the desk and does most of the heavy lifting that never gets any real credit. And then, of course, Scratticus is playing Elwood, the field agent, gets all the glory. Why don't you tell us about Elwood, Scrat?
It might help if we could hear Elwood in the future.
It would help,
Sorry.
but there's a bit of a delay sometimes when you're in a different timeline and you're communicating to the future. But,
Sorry, have I lined up the temporal diffraction engine correctly now? Can you hear me?
Yes, you're coming in clear now. Coming in
Okay.
pecking clear.
Elwood, he graduated the Special Agents Academy with full marks in athletics and martial arts training. But he didn't do so well on any of the mind stuff, that brains stuff. He didn't do much of that. But tell you what, he did flying colors through the era conformity challenges. Like, he can fit in. He can act. This boy can act. Catch him at the bar. He'll buy you a drink. Just don't ask him too many questions.
You see why he's the bane of her existence now?
Of course. So you guys have been working together for some time, and a new mission comes across the desk. Something that's going to send you back to the 1970s. It seems that another temporal agent, another field agent, in completing his mission, which was technically a success, he left a mess that now needs to be cleaned up by someone else. In order to save one person, he ended up saving a lot of people, and that has quite a few ripple effects, as you know. There was a bus crash with a big explosion on the bus. A lot of people died, and the temporal agency needed to make sure that one of the people who died didn't, and so the field agent just stopped the whole explosion from happening in the first place. And now anyway, long story short, something happened back in the 1950s which resulted in something else happening in the 1970s that they don't like. There's a lot of stuff going on in the 1970s. You know, it's the Cold War, there's the space race, there's all kinds of important, really cool stuff that you could be getting involved in if you were going back to that era. And you are told to protect somebody's secretary or personal assistant. Apparently, this lady named Caroline is, supposedly pretty important in the future. Apparently, without her, the internet never gets created, or it gets created, but it never becomes a global phenomenon, and that's pretty important. So, unfortunately, as a ripple effect of what this other field agent was doing in the 1950s, for some reason, she ends up getting gunned down in a subway car in 1974 in April. So Scrat, Elwood is being sent in 1974 to a simple job: make sure Caroline doesn't get on the subway.
So Ari, what have I got to do to fit in 1974?
Well, judging by my calculations, I think you're gonna have to get yourself some bell-bottom jeans. Some big
Bell-bottom.
flares.
Bell-bottom jeans. I don't know about that. Hang on, I've just picked up your accent. Fuck.
Irish is fucking addicting.
Sure is.
To be sure. All right. I'm not feeling the bell-bottom jeans, Ari. I'm not feeling that. Maybe we can go something a little bit more, corporate.
You want to go corporate on this one? You do realize that this is the height of the hippie movement. This is the height when everybody was wearing tie-dye and wearing bands around their head and putting flowers and everything.
All right. I'll smoke a cigarette. Let's go corporate.
Make it a doobie and you're fit in perfectly.
So Elwood, the quartermaster, asks you what your what's it called? Your cover story is going to be this time. Do you want to be an FBI agent, police officer, a doctor, something else?
Yeah, let's go FBI.
What are you feeling like today, Elwood?
Yeah,
What can I program
FBI.
you in as?
FBI, yeah, that sounds pretty corporate. FBI.
It's always important, or is always useful to have, that FBI badge hanging around. You can be equipped with, you can take with you three items. You get 3 requisitions for equipment, and you can take 1 weapon, 1 piece of sci-fi tech, and something else, which can either be med pack or something you think that you might need. Who knows? It's up to you.
I mean, they're gonna have they're gonna have lasers back then, right? In the 70s. I'll just take a laser gun.
They definitely don't have laser guns.
They definitely don't have laser guns, Elwood. What the feck are you thinking? You fucking reprobate, I swear. They don't have lasers. We need you to go incognito on this one. You can't just go trailblazing through and hope that we can forget it and put it down to fantasy. Or, it was a cave painting. It's just a cave painting. It doesn't mean it existed. It was just a cave. We can't do that again, Elwood.
But that worked that worked brilliantly on the last missionary. I feel like it'll work again.
It did work brilliantly on the last mission. It did work brilliantly on the last mission, until the director, both of your boss, basically, got fired for okaying you to take laser guns back to 1920 America, and that
You
director
remember what
got
happened to Joshua?
Yeah. Director Joshua got fired for okaying that, and was quickly replaced by a much stricter director named Mackenzie, who has made it quite clear that if you make her job harder, she's going to see to it that you were never born. A threat that is quite possible for a person in her position.
All right. Okay, I get it. So what? Pistol?
A pistol, a period-appropriate pistol would work, yes.
Give me a heavy one.
All right,
like something that's pretty weighty, something that I can hit a guy with and not go down,
Oh, you're really making my job harder, you realize that?
And then I don't know, what else do I need? Ari, you tell me, what should I take?
Well, I say a pistol would be fine. For the most part, you might have to use your fists.
I graduated on these fists.
I'm very well aware of that, Elwood. Just try to stay out of trouble. If you're trying to go for FBI corporate kind of thing, you need to kill people with your words, with your wit, with your sensibilities. Not that you had any sensibility to begin with, but you need to try.
All right, okay, I've got it. I'll travel light on this one. I'll take a pistol, a 3-piece suit.
A 3-piece suit that comes with an FBI badge.
With an FBI badge, yep. And I don't know, a good hat.
And a good hat. Fair enough. The quartermaster says, yeah, well, we'll give you the best fedora we've got. In fact, this fedora is so good that it's got a site-to-site transporter built inside of it. It will allow you to transposition yourself and up to 1 additional body, if you like. Not that you should be transpositioning other people, but yourself and up to 1 additional body with which you are holding on to, up to, we'll say 1,000 meters. Can go through walls, but be careful, because if you don't aim it right, that can get messy. And it looks just like a 1970s fedora, so you're good.
Does it now?
Yeah, just like that.
I swear, one day there's going to go out of fashion, Elwood, and I look forward to that day.
But not today. That's the important thing.
No, and apparently not even until 2020. People still wear them.
I mean, who can blame him?
The other instruction that you got is from the director, the new director. She said she doesn't want to see 5,000 do-overs this time. She's given you one temporal trip, round trip, to use. The way the time machine works is it can send you through time, and then if you want to go somewhere else through time, you need to be pulled back to the present, and then sent on a separate mission. It is theoretically possible for someone to send you without taking you back to the present, to send you further back in time. According to the numbers on paper, it's theoretically possible, but no one's ever done it successfully. In fact, the last person who tried was ripped apart by the time machine because their temporal engineer couldn't do the math while it was happening.
Don't make
Just
my
a
job
fun
hard,
little
Elwood. Don't make my job
factoid.
hard, please, Elwood. We don't want dire Mackie after us.
I'm not even worried. You know, I've got the fist side of things, and I know you've got the magic side of things, right?
Yes.
You know, the electro magic, that stuff.
The magic of science.
Sure.
So yeah, you have one
Thank you.
one
Fisk.
card.
Fisk, thank you for the donation. I think that's like free advantages. Let us know where you want them to go to.
Wow. Advantages will work a little, I guess, differently with this system. No, it should be still the same. You roll twice and you take the better roll. That works. Yeah, so you say you know, it's just a fun little factoid. So you have one quantum trip card. It can be sent. You can be sent back in time. Like I said, technically speaking, you could use that same card to go further back in time, but it's never been done successfully. Otherwise, you need to come back to the present to get another card to go on another trip. From the
So
director.
remember, Elwood. Save the CEO secretary. Save the internet.
Yes, exactly.
Are you like paraphrasing one of them sitcom things you watch again, or something like that?
I just need you to be my hero, okay?
I mean, aren't I already?
All right, I'm transporting you in now. Are you standing on your proper beamer? Okay, beamer?
What? Looking around for a car?
I mean, the time machine does look like a car.
I'm on the
Doesn't.
beamer.
Yeah.
All right, well. Off we go. Are you holding on tight?
Nope.
Have you got your hat secured?
Yep.
All right. Transporting you now. In 3, 2, 1.
Sound effects. You appear on a street corner in 1974 New York. And Mackenzie says, please keep your hands, arms, feet, legs inside the time machine at all times. Very important. Very important. You don't want your limbs to wind up in a different time period than you are. Elwood, you're in New York. You've been to New York before, but your New York looks very different than this New York. It's a bustling city in any time period, but there's thank you for the enrollment, Ness the average gamer. I don't know. Ness the average gamer. Yeah. So anyway, you're in 1974 New York. You know your quarry, Caroline, lives in a building next to Pelham Bay Park, so it should be easy enough to find. And you're on the path. Do you do anything before you go up to try to meet with her? Do anything to prepare yourself, or
yes,
have any
immediately.
plans?
Immediately, I'm gonna look around for I'm gonna look for what I would recognize as a shop, but I guess I would see like a newspaper stand in the 70s.
Yes, newspaper stands are aplenty.
I'm gonna go and go to the newspaper stand. I'm gonna buy some cigarettes, a chocolate bar, and a magazine because I know Ari loves magazines.
Cool. You go to the newspaper stand. You ask for the things that are requested. Guy doesn't even card you for the cigarettes.
Weird.
Because it's the 1970s. And he gives you everything you asked for, and then he says, that'll be $2.50. And then you realize you don't have any period appropriate change.
Can I pay you back in a couple of hours? I just gotta run over to the stop over there.
Hey, what do I look like? A library?
Come on, put me up for a couple of minutes.
You could make a chutzpah plus charm check if you'd like. Try to convince him.
Okay, here we go. First roll. So I launch a test. I put in my multiplier for that, right?
For your multiple, you put in, yes, you add your attributes and skill numbers together. You put them together. We're gonna say that this is not a paradoxal roll, so you don't have to worry about the paradox dice. But yes.
One success.
You got one success. He says, "All right, I'll tell you what. Just because you look like the kind of guy that might take not very kindly to me if I say no. So I'm gonna let you have those things on the house, and you can get me back tomorrow when you come back this way, and yeah,
you got it.
Double tomorrow. Yeah,
I go past this way every day on the way to work. I'll get you tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice hat.
Thank you.
And he lets you go. So Madam Gandalf, Ari, you and Scrat, even though he is in a completely different time period, you can communicate as much as you want with him. He has a temporal communication piece implanted in his ear, so he can always hear you, even if he's talking to someone else. In fact, sometimes it's most comically hilarious when he's talking to someone else. Just letting you know that you have full range of communication with him. You also have a whole bunch of screens in front of you, so you can see the fluctuations to the timelines as they happen. So you can see the little blip that just showed up on your screen when he promised to pay this guy back tomorrow and doesn't. The littlest things like stepping on a butterfly could have huge ramifications. Who knows? In this case,
you realize that
fortunately,
you are the start of his trust issues.
He'll be fine.
Coming in, Elwood. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just about. Yeah, I can hear you.
Elwood? I need you to stop promising people things and then not doing it. It's really fucking up with my timeline here.
Alright, I need some cash, Ari.
How much cash do you need?
Oh, I mean, I don't need to rob a bank, just some walking money, you know?
Alright, I'm sending in.
So Ari, you have the capacity to hack into any piece of technology in any time period. You can actually hack into an ATM and have it dispense period appropriate cash for Elwood. It just requires a roll. In this case, it's going to be a quantum physics plus plus mechanics roll.
All right. Quantum physics plus mechanics roll.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get it to roll? Is it rolling?
Yes. Below your attributes and skills, you should see a button that says launch a test. You're going to click that button, and then it's going to ask you to input the node value. The node value is your quantum physics number plus your mechanics number, ignoring any negative modifiers.
Okay. That would just do.
And there we go. Yeah, you look at that. 0 successes.
I didn't happen to get one of the rolls from the donation, did I?
I don't know if you did. I wasn't paying attention to that. Did she get any of the rerolls?
I don't think we've had any come in. We can just stick them in the pool. Oh no, hang on. Yes. No. You literally, Elwood gets one, Caroline gets one, and Wally gets one.
So here's what happens. Here's what happens. Ari successfully hacked the machine, just not to dispense a specific amount of money at a specific time when Elwood was right in front of it. So the ATM machine that is down the street just starts spitting out money all into the street, and people go crazy.
Elwood, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you also
People
hear
going
that
crazy.
racket?
What the hell's going on? There's people going nuts around here.
Well, I may have fecked up a little bit. All the cash you want is currently being dispensed to the rest of New York City. You might want to get in on that cash
Hang on a minute. You mean I speak to a guy and break a promise, and you're telling me that's gonna mess with a paradox? But you make a bunch of people like you give a bunch of people a month's salary in a minute, and that doesn't do anything. What?
Hey,
Come on.
I'm giving people money. You are taking it away from someone. Now get yourself over there before everybody takes everything. I'm doing my best to stop it as we speak.
All right,
Just get over there.
I'm gonna make this 10 times worse, and it's your fault. I'm gonna walk up to this group of people and be like, "Hey, stop! FBI!"
Oh, okay. That's definitely an intimidate plus chutzpah check. And it's an intimidate plus chutzpah check, and just to cover the mechanics of the game for sake of argument, to make sure everyone understands how everything works. Below your attributes and skills, you can see that in your well-being section, you have wounds, which we only worry about when you get hurt, and moxie. You have 8 points of moxie. Moxie are an expendable resource. When you want to improve the odds of a roll, you can spend moxie to give yourself extra dice. So, what is your node value for chutzpah plus intimidate?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Say you wanted it to be 6. You say you didn't think 5 was enough. You could spend 1 point of moxie to make it 6. If you thought 6 wasn't enough, you could spend 2 points of moxie to make it 7. That said, moxie is not a renewable resource. I will tell you when you get moxie back, but it may not even be once per session, just so you know. And for funsies, because you were telling me we need to do something with retweets.
And we've just hit 10.
And we just hit 10. I am going to say every 10 retweets, I'm going to say every 10 retweets, one player will get. We'll say one of either Scrat or Madame Gandalf, because they're the recurring players. One of those two will get a point of moxie, up to a maximum of 8. So since we've got one that is about to be applied, Scrat, why don't you spend a point of moxie just to try it out, and you'll get one back right away.
So I just input a node value of 6.
Correct.
And
we're not using the paradox dice. Not this time. You got 2 successes. So when you say, "Hey, everyone, stop! FBI," and you hold out your badge, it actually intimidates people. They disperse.
That's right. Come on, move along, move along. And then when there's enough people like not really looking, I'm just gonna start scooping up the cash for myself.
Okay, you scoop up the cash as much as you can. You get maybe, let's say,
Subtle, Elwood. Very, very subtle.
More subtle than you throwing cash all over the street.
You get, yeah, eight times. Let's say you get $80 worth. $80 is a lot of money in 1974, but that's okay. A lot of money was spewing out of that machine.
Great, I got it. All right, let's get to that damn.
All right, so
subway
you start heading.
Actually, hang on, fuck you, Surrey, as well. Ari, I'm gonna head over to the newspaper stand. I'm gonna throw $5 in and be like, "Here's your damn money." I'm gonna like no explanation, just march away. Like.
And I can see the positive effect that has had. Well done, Elwood. Now the man is not going to go home and cry to his family tonight, or tomorrow night even.
And take it out on his children, who then themselves turn out to be horrible people as a result. I tell you, the ripple effects, man.
All right, let's get down to this subway station.
All right, so you wasted a lot of time getting your smokes and your magazine, and then also getting money. So by the time you pay the guy and you look over to the building that you're supposed to be watching, you see a woman who matches Caroline's description leaving and heading straight for the subway station. So you immediately, obviously, pursue as quickly as you can. But, she's already got some distance on you. And you see her about to board. So just so you can picture this here. Pelham Bay Park Station is an above ground elevated subway platform. Does eventually go into a tunnel underground, but at this point on the tracks, it's an elevated platform. You can see that the subway car pulls up to the station, and Caroline is rushing through the crowds of people to make sure she gets on her bus, her subway car. You, of course, are really... What was that?
I was like, target spotted, Elwood. Get on it.
And Elwood is quite athletically capable, so he closes distance quickly. But there's a lot of people in the way. Elwood, why don't you roll me an athletics plus chutzpah roll. See if you have it in you to catch up to Caroline and hold her back so she misses that train.
Sure, no paradox dice?
Not this time.
Oh.
0 successes. You know what? That's actually quite appropriate, given everything that's going on. So you can't quite make it through the crowds. You see her about to get on the train. What would you're not catching up? I guess you wasted too much time getting all that money off the ground. What would Elwood do? He's about to fail his mission. If she gets on that train, you know what's going to happen. What would he do?
Elwood.
And she'll keep obnoxiously just saying Elwood over and over again in your ear, just to add to the pressure.
I'm gonna go up to the wall and smash the fire alarm.
Okay. You go up to the wall to smash the fire alarm. You're on your way. You're about to.
In the 70s.
Yeah, you're about to smash the fire alarm. But before you can get to it and smash the fire alarm, someone intercepts you. Someone who spotted you chasing a young woman and happened to notice you have a holstered gun. So, Drew, do you want to introduce your character for us?
So Elwood feels a hand come across his chest as he goes for the fire alarm. He sees a man with a shaved face, baby smooth. He's wearing a fedora, probably about as nice as the fedora that Elwood's wearing. He's also wearing a trench coat, not exposing too much. And he puts his hand on Elwood's chest and he says, "Hey, if you're going to set that fire alarm off, mind giving me a light at least?" And he pulls out a cigarette and he puts it in his mouth.
Yeah, sure. Can I hit the alarm first?
First things first, you tell me why you're following that girl, and I really do need a light.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you, and I will pat my pockets for a lighter.
Did you get a lighter when you went to the newsstand? What did you get? You got smokes. You got a magazine. You must have picked up a lighter as well. I'm assuming.
I must have done. I mean.
You must have.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have a lighter. You pull out the lighter.
Will Smith over here, you know.
But in searching for the lighter and helping and passing it to Wally over here, you see over his shoulder, Caroline gets on the train, and then you hear the bell, and the train doors close. Train starts to move, and it leaves Pelham Bay Park Station.
You know, you're a real hero, Wally.
How do you know my name?
Good question.
I believe this man's name is Wally Eldridge. I repeat.
Wally Eldridge, right? Wally Eldridge? And, like, if I can temporally, like, communicate without moving my lips, I'm gonna be like, give me any way I know him. Any way. Maybe we went to school or something. Where'd he go?
Well, and
Ari will start, like, frantically typing and researching Wally Eldridge now.
Wally Eldridge. Drew, tell us what comes up when Ari searches the life and story of Wally Eldridge.
She would find a sterling military record. Served 4 years, was as decorated as you can be in a Cold War. And she would also find that he graduated from the police academy, top of his class. Served on the streets of New York for 5 years before he decided that that life wasn't for him and he became a private detective.
After panically searching and finding all of this wonderful stuff out about Wally, she'll tune back in to Elwood.
all right. Say that you served with him in the Cold War.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to picture your face, Wally. I know your name. Did you serve? You're in the Cold War, right?
I mean, as much as you can be in a war that doesn't happen.
Give me more than this, Harry.
That's
What side of town you from, Frank?
I mean, you're also in the FBI, right? So tell him that, you trained with him as well in the police academy.
Yeah, didn't I see you at the academy?
Top of his class. He was the top of his class.
Yeah, I remember you. You were the schmuck always getting the good grades, right? And I'm gonna pull back the badge and show you my FBI badge on my waist.
Well, I don't recognize you, but
Oh no,
I've
why would you
been called
recognize the
schmuck
bottom
once or
teeth?
twice.
Hey, I scraped through that class, all right?
Well, you seem to be
cover,
doing all
Elwood.
right for yourself there, Mr. FBI.
No, much as I can.
Ari, while Elwood is debating the finer the finer points of a class he didn't go to with his classmate Wally. You start seeing, you start seeing all of the warning blips pop up on your screens. That Caroline's on the train. She's gonna get gunned down. She never goes on to work with the big internet companies and help establish the internet as a worldwide thing. It's disastrous. It's disastrous. The timeline that's starting to form is cementing itself.
Edward is going crazy over here. You need to get to the girl right now. Get to Caroline. Get to Caroline. Go, go, go. Stop having a nice little shindig over there. We're getting red warning signs. We're going on target, and we're gonna get McFired.
Anyway, look, Wally, that girl I was following, I'm following her because she's in a lot of danger. She's got mixed up with some bad people. Look, you were best of your class, right? Help me out here. Let's go and chase her down.
All right, I got you 6. Let's go.
Yeah, I got you 12 and a half. Let's go. And I'm gonna like just start running along the platform.
Okay, you're running along the platform. What are you planning to do here? You want to try to catch up to this train on foot?
I mean, if it hasn't left the station, if I can do like a leap onto it or something, that'd be great.
It has well, you know how trains pull out of stations slowly because they're in close proximity to a whole bunch of things that they don't want to hit, like people and who knows what else. So it has left the station, but it's only starting to pick up speed. You want to try to jump on the back of the train?
Hell yeah, let's action movie this.
Okay. I'm gonna say that this is a very difficult role. You're gonna need 3 successes to do this. And it's going to be athletics, definitely plus chutzpah.
You do have advantage as well that you could use.
I do have an advantage. Okay, here we go. My advantage, my chutzpah plus athletics is 7. I'm gonna add 2 moxie to make my node 9, and I'm gonna use an advantage.
Okay, sure.
No paradox dice?
No paradox this time.
Oh, 2 successes on the first roll. Come on.
You need 3.
Come on. Ah, no, 2 successes again.
He leaps off of that tram, the train platform, and narrowly misses the back of the subway car.
Wait a minute. What about my top of the class boy here?
He's got your 6?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Is Wally, first of all, crazy enough to make such a jump? Second of all, does Wally, who was also following Caroline, does Wally believe that this FBI agent he just met is deadly serious when he says Caroline's in a lot of danger?
I mean, he knows me. He knows Caroline. He seems to know enough about me to be legit.
And you happen to know that you were hired by someone to find out some very delicate information, and Caroline might be your only lead. So, with all that said, do you try to jump on this train?
I have a vested interest in getting on this train. I'm jumping.
Okay, athletics plus chutzpah. And being that you are one of our 2 special guests for this episode, you don't have to worry as much about conserving your moxie across episodes as the other 2 do.
There's me just tossing moxie out.
You know, if you, yeah.
Moxie.
There's one thing about Wally Eldridge. It's moxie. Okay. He's gonna put 3 down on this roll.
3 down plus his athletics and chutzpah. So what does that give you a node value of?
That's a node value of 6.
You also have an advantage as well.
You also have an advantage, so you can do a reroll if you'd like. You need 3 successes though. So, best of luck.
I believe.
All right, here we go.
Ooh.
All right. So advantage, yeah.
Yeah, you can roll again. Oh, and when it asks you for the paradox dice, you can click no. You don't need that to say yes.
Ah!
Oh. Oh. Wow. You also jump off and land right next to Elwood on the tracks. Fortunately, you don't touch the 3rd track. I'm not gonna, put you in that kind of level of danger.
Only 5s and 6s are successes, though.
Only 5s and 6s are successes, correct? And if you had a negative modifier in either of those rolls, then I need to know you have a negative modifier, because then bad stuff can happen if you get failures.
All positive.
All positive. Perfect. All right. So yeah, then nothing bad happens, but you don't land on the thing. You jump, you miss, you land on the tracks right next to Elwood. And Elwood and Wally, you're watching this train carrying this very important, simple little personal assistant. She probably has no idea how important she is, but you know she's important. And they're just going away.
Are you proud of yourself? Do you feel like a real James Bond now, Elwood?
Hey, we gotta book it.
Elwood, I will remind you, you do have a one-use hat. That train is still in range. Or do you have some other plan up your sleeve for catching up to that thing?
Look, I don't suppose you happen to ride a motorcycle or something so we can get on the tracks with?
Yeah, let me grab that out of my pocket, smart guy.
All right. God, let's go and jack one or something.
You want to jack a motorcycle or a car?
Yeah.
Why don't you just?
I don't
flash
think
your
now
badge?
is the appropriate place for that.
Isn't there like an operator around here? You could just tell him, "Hey, look, FBI, stop the train, or I'm gonna lose it." Well, I mean, what do you want?
Yeah,
Tell the operator to stop the train.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Can I hack it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. I can be like, hey, Harry, I need you to hack the controls to the train. This guy can't know I'm not really FBI. Is that like a photo?
Ari, so you can hack into any piece of technology. So you could try to hack into the operating system of the train.
I would love to try that. That would be brilliant.
Well, you can't actually hack into the train itself, because the train is only connected to train. The train is only running up basically off of the electricity of that third rail. You can hack into
the electricity.
Yeah, you can turn off the electricity, which would depower the train. You could also change the lights from green to red. Hopefully the person conducting the train would just stop it at that point. You could make the phone on the train ring and call the conductor.
I want to call the conductor.
Okay. So first of all, you're going to need to make a check. We said it was quantum physics plus mechanics to hack into something, so go for it. Quantum physics plus mechanics to hack into the telephone of this train and call it.
2 successes. All right.
Awesome. The telephone rings, and the conductor picks it up and says, "Yo, this is Pelham 123. What's your call sign?"
Hello, 123. This is Cat Dog 927 right here.
What kind of call sign is that?
It's a brand new one. You probably haven't heard of it. Look, we need you to
Who
stop
is
the train
this?
immediately. We need you to stop the train immediately. There's a pedestrian stuck on the tracks. It's a typical code pedestrian code head.
You're gonna have to make a bluff plus chutzpah check. A
Code
bluff,
ped. Code ped.
bluff plus chutzpah check.
Ah!
Oh,
No paradox dice necessary.
Am I right in thinking
Bluff.
you've got a minus in bluff?
Yeah, so that makes it a -2.
So when you have a negative modifier, you still add that number to the as if it was a positive to the node, and then you just tell me that it was a negative. So
Okay.
so whatever your number are, you add it as if it's a positive for determining your node, but you tell me
Got
that
you.
yes, the skill you're using is negative, which just means that every die you roll that isn't a success counts as a failure.
Got you.
Oh, no
So-
big deal. No big deal.
No
Fingers
big deal.
crossed that this goes okay. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. I cannot
So
believe
you rolled
that.
46, got 2 successes and 2 failures, which equals out to 0. So he says, I don't know how you got this number, but prank calling a subway train is definitely a federal offense.
Well, you won't know unless you actually stop whether you're about to run over a code ped or not.
A code ped, eh? Yeah, you definitely made that up. And he hangs up.
Heck.
Thank you very
Heck,
much,
Elwood.
Sphinx, who gives advantage to everyone. Except
Thank
for
you,
Josh.
Sphinx. That's okay, I don't need advantages.
Oh, thank God.
Elwood,
Hey,
hopefully
sorry.
you've eaten your carrots lately. I'm gonna shut down the block.
Sure.
And she's gonna
So what
try
are you
again.
doing?
She's gonna
You're-
turn off the power.
You're gonna turn off the power for the rail that is powering the train. Awesome.
Right.
This is going to again, it's a quantum physics mechanics. Anytime you're hacking technology, it's going to be quantum physics plus mechanics. However, this time, I'm going to say you need 3 successes. Very difficult task. And
Correct.
and you're going to click yes on paradox dice.
Oh no.
Oh.
I don't know what that does yet, but it's scary.
It is scary.
Okay, I'm also
I'll
going
tell
to
you what
use
it
my
does.
advantage.
Okay, you're going to use your advantage. Are you sure? With paradox dice in play, rerolls might actually work against you. Never mind. Forget I said that.
With advantage. With
Okay,
advantage.
let's see what you
This is where
got.
I'm gonna get what I need on the first roll, isn't it? Just wait.
Usually what happens.
Ooh.
Ooh. I'm
Ooh.
kind of glad right now that I.
Okay. What's the reroll? Oh, look at that. You got a 5 on the paradox dice, which counts as another success, so you have 2 successes. Yatta, indeed. 2 successes. However, you needed 3, so the power goes off for a second. It goes off for a solid second, and the all the lights go off. The train starts to slow down, but then it all flickers back on, and the train keeps going.
Damn 70-second wiring being not as solid as today's. I swear, I don't know what they were feckin' thinking in the 70s, but they better get their act together. We need them to get the internet. They need it desperately, Elwood. Elwood, I think you're gonna have to use the hat.
While she's been doing this, Elwood, have you been looking for a car to hijack, or
Oh, yeah,
are you just
definitely,
resorting
definitely.
to plan hat?
I mean, plan hat is right there, but like, I know I was heading to, I was like ringing the operator, making a big show and dance and bringing the operator. I'm gonna
Wally is a private investigator. He's probably proficient at hijacking cars. That's what private investigators do, right?
Sure.
Give or take.
All right, look, Wally. If we can get anything to get us on that train. I mean, if there's a car, a bike, anything nearby, if you know of anything, we need to pull something out of the.
Look,
out of
pull
the
something
hat
out of a
here.
hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know how to do 3 things. I know 3 things in this world: how to shoot a gun, how to drive a car, and New York City. All right, let's do it.
All right. So you run off of the platform. You climb back up on the platform. You run away from the station. You find one parked car. It is the only parked car because at this time of day, it is against the law to park, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. or something like that on this street. And so everyone moves their car. But of course, there's always at least one person that just says, signs don't apply to me, and parks the car there anyway. So there is one car parked on the street. You want to try to hijack it? You can.
So Wally
just
will
bust the window or what?
Wally will look over at Elwood and just kind of shrug and be like, "Guess we'll drop it off at the tow yard," and then we'll, start to try and jimmy the lock.
Jimmy the lock? Sure. Okay, so jimmying the lock would be, I'm gonna say, a mechanics plus engineer? Operate?
I'll take
Whichever
operate.
one of them. Sure. Mechanics plus operate.
So I'm rolling the total mechanics roll plus the operate roll, so 2 plus 1, right?
Yeah, so that you're gonna put your node in as 3. It's 2 plus 1. This is not a paradox roll. 0 successes. Jimmying the lock doesn't work. You guys are running out of time. Do you want to just fist the window?
Yeah, while Wally's I imagine Wally's cussing or something. I can see it's not going well. I'm just gonna pull the pistol out of my pocket and just and put my fist through the window.
Make a violence plus melee check.
Oh, we got this. I mean, how many successes do I need? Because if I haven't got this, I'm
one. You need one success.
I've got.
This is 1974 glass.
Have 5. There's your 5 successes. All right. I'm gonna break that window. I'm gonna rip the door off. Okay. I'm just gonna rip the door off the car. That's all I'm gonna do. Okay.
Okay. You've made it into the car. Now, can you hotwire it?
Now,
I'm gonna say it's a mechanics plus program. Sure.
It's 1974. Wally's gonna pull down the visor. He's gonna pull down the visor and see if the keys are in there.
Clever. Yes. Pulling down the visor, seeing if the extra keys are in there. You know what? I'll give it to you. There's an extra set of keys under the visor. It is 1974. That was a clever idea, and you deserve a reward.
Trusting.
So, Wally,
the trusting 70s.
Throws it in and gets it going.
Yeah, you get it going.
You getting in?
Yeah, I'm getting in.
Wally, you know New York well enough to know these stops. So do you want to drive to the next stop? Or do you want to try to drive to the one after it, thinking that the next stop is a lost cause? Maybe the one 3 stops down. How far down do you want to go? There is diminishing returns. The further out you're going, eventually you will not be able to keep up with the train. The train has frequent stops, but it's also faster than a car. A car can cover a smaller distance faster than the train, but it can't cover a larger distance faster than the train. So, but it does also have a head start on you. And if you're stopping at every single train station, then you're never going to catch it. So
I
you're
mean,
going to have to pick
Wally
one.
would know this time of day, which way to go to get there the fastest. He would know the train schedule, and so I mean, obviously, he knows he's not going to make it to the next stop in time, unless there was some kind of commotion going on that was pausing the train's route. So
Which is possible, like commotion, like a gunman on the train.
I mean, I don't think he knows anything about that, though.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't know anything about that. I'm just being a shit GM.
He would say,
across to Caroline.
we're gonna skip the first stop, but I went Boston there for a second. We're gonna skip the first stop, and we're gonna go to the second stop. And I mean, Wally's got a few connections in the force, so he's not afraid to break the speed limit.
Okay, so let's see. Wally make. Driving is definitely going to be a mechanics check. No, wait. You're driving recklessly. So we're going to say that this is a violence plus operate check. Crossing the lines here. We're using one. Yeah. Violence plus operate.
Well, I'm definitely dropping some moxie on this.
Okie dokie. Is it a negative? Do you have a negative in operate or no? Positive? Okay.
2 successes.
Look at that, 2 successes. Okay, so you break every rule you have to. You drive through a red light. You literally cut a curb, driving up over the curb. You do everything you can, and you pull up to the train station just as you see the train pulling into the train station. And this is the last train station that's above ground before it goes underground too. So you see it coming up. You guys pull up to the train station. Was it the pad, the landing pad? That's not the right word. You know, the place where people stand and wait.
Drop-off point.
Yeah. Drop-off point, yeah. So you pull up, and the train is just pulling in. Get out of the car, and what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna make
sure I'm gonna park it in one of the spots that's gonna get it towed, so it ends up at the tow yard. So like, 'cause that's where I was going anyways. And then just book it to the train, get on the train, and find Caroline.
When Wally starts slowing down, I'm gonna hop out of the door that I ripped off, and like just start running.
Okay. Make a athletics, both of you, plus huspa check. Get through those train doors in time.
Alex, we made my character so well. Okay, I'm just saying, I don't think I've had less than 6 node on anything so far.
That's great for you, Scrat.
All of the physical field action stuff is going to be great, but you just wait. You just wait till you have to use your brain.
I don't want to.
Scrat's like, I don't have to use my brain. That's what Alex is for. She's in my ear at all times, right? That's never going to be jeopardized ever, right?
Exactly, right? That's not any sort of classic trope.
It's broken.
You both got at least 1 success, so you both sprint and get through the doors just as they close behind you. You are now on the train, and you start frantically looking for Caroline as the train starts pulling away from the station. And just as it pulls, thank you, D&D and Paige, for paying your term fees. She has something to gift for that, doesn't she?
Yeah, advantage. You have an advantage to give
An
Paige.
advantage. Who do you want to give an advantage to?
Also,
you don't need to give it to me. I understand.
6 months. 6 months means Paige upgrades from her scholarly scroll to her graduation cap.
Wow, congratulations.
But yeah, frantically searching for Caroline.
Yes, frantically searching for Caroline. Sorry, I was waiting for an advantage gift, but we can worry about that later. Yes, you are frantically searching for Caroline. You're in the front car of the train, and thankfully, so is she. You do see her sitting there calmly, quietly, just being a passenger on a train with a suit folded over her lap. No, the suit is later. You pick up the suit when you get to your first stop. She does not yet have a suit, but she is sitting on the train, and you're a little relieved to see that she is in fact still alive. And just at that moment, somebody else gets up from their chair in the front car, pulls out of their duffel bag a Tommy gun, and fires it into the ceiling and says, "Nobody move! This train's being hijacked." And that's where we're going to take a break, because we're going to take a mid-session break. Yeah. We're going to take a mid-session break. I believe it's a 5-minute break, correct?
It is indeed. 5-minute break. We're going to go and stretch, get ourselves a drink, do all that good stuff. We look after ourselves. I'm going to run an ad. For those of you who aren't subs, you'll see a lovely Twitch advert. For those of you who aren't, you just get to look at our poster for a few minutes and look at our lovely miniatures in the bottom right corner. Well, my lovely miniature. Yeah, we'll be back in 5 minutes, everyone. Yeah, do all the good things.
See you in 5.
We are back, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you had a good break. I hope you got them stretches in, got them good drinks in, and all that good stuff. And I hope you got to check out all of the good things. Someone stands up and fires a gun into the train.
Someone stands up and fires a gun in the train, a Tommy gun, and tells everyone to not move. That this train is being commandeered. Several other people stand up in unison with guns. There's one of them in all, and they tell you that the train is you're now all their hostages. Two of them move towards the front of the train and push their way to the conductor room. Do you guys react to this, or do you all just stay still?
Elwood, that looks very suspicious.
Maybe I raise my hands and break my light, and try and go and sit. Is there a free space near Caroline?
There's a free space right next to Caroline.
I'll go and sit myself down next to Caroline.
Okay.
All right.
Wally?
You're sitting right next to her. You're in the vicinity. You're doing great, Elwood.
Ari, at this point, the train goes underground. You still have communication with Elwood, but your screen, in terms of being able to track where he's positioned and where everyone on the train is positioned, goes a bit fuzzy. You're not sure if that's because the train is underground or if it's because timeline is a little wonky with all the variables at play. But either way, your visibility is shot. You only have communication with Elwood at this point. You
okay,
do, however.
What I just said. I take back what I just said then, and just be like,
Elwood, where the feck are you? I hope you're finding her.
I'm right next to her.
You do, however, become acutely aware of the fact that Wally is only on this train because of Elwood's involvement. Which might be inconsequential. Maybe. You were looking him up earlier. Did you see him supposedly doing anything important in the future at some point? Wally, what is Drew, why don't you tell us, what is Wally destined to do if he survives today?
Well, I mean, Wally's led a pretty exciting life. I imagine his time as a private investigator would probably have him rubbing elbows with maybe some rich wives who want to find their husband cheating on them. And maybe he cozies up with one of them and gets the nice white picket fence he so deserves.
ooh.
A white picket fence future. In other words, a future nobody will miss. But maybe he has kids in his future that could then have further impacts on the timeline. Who knows?
Or maybe we could have him make an even greater and more positive impact. And all of the wives would not be so much of a thing. Maybe he goes on to do bigger and greater things.
Who knows? You would. You see all the timelines. You see the future where he just gets a white picket fence with a rich housewife. You see a future where he goes on to become president of the United States. There's so many variables.
So many, just all in front of
There's
me
also
right
a future
here.
where he dies in April 1974 on a train. What's interesting, though, is now that you're paying closer attention to it because you're acutely interested, the timeline, the correct timeline, the one you're trying to help create with your agency, has no record of hijacking of a New York subway train happening in April of 1974. This whole event is not supposed to be happening, but it is. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Two gunmen blast through the door into the conductor's room and waste no time killing the conductor. They just gun him down.
Ah, fuck. Well, that's made a big difference.
I'm guessing Ari's getting like some sort of alarm there, because that's got to change a lot that someone died.
No, curiously enough, conductor wasn't that much important to the whole timeline thing. You know, there are malleable points where it's not that important, and then there's big fixed points, like some conductor dying. And much as conductors are important to society, and if you are watching this and you're a conductor, thank you for your service. But
Pay us the
someone who
custodians,
goes
everyone.
someone who goes on to help create the internet has definitely more ripple effects than. But then again, you know, step on a butterfly, so who knows?
Okay, Ari will have a momentary panic of like,
Oh, dear God! Oh, wait, turns out he was gonna die on Wednesday on the toilet anyway. Never mind, it's fine.
I'm gonna lean into Caroline and be like, hey kid, you alright?
Yeah. This is just all really crazy. I'm okay.
Good. Well, get out of here. You just stay quiet and do what I tell you.
Okay. Who are you?
A knight in shining armor. What does it matter right now?
A little bit. I don't know if I can really trust anybody at this moment. I have a job to do and I need to get from point A to point B, but this is all happening and what is Mr. Dwyer gonna think?
Don't draw attention. Play it cool. You're not important. None of us are important. Just do what they say.
All right.
The gunmen stop the train. A couple of the gunmen move to the back of the first car and detach the first car from the remaining cars. And then one of the gunmen in the conductor room starts up the train again, as if he's been a conductor before. And the train keeps going. It goes for some time like this, goes for 10, 15 minutes. Meanwhile,
I'm looking to Wally. What's Wally doing?
What is Wally doing?
Wally's actually in the middle of pulling out a cigarette, places it in his mouth, and he pulls out his Zippo. It works just fine. He was just basically looking for a reason to get in Elwood's face and stop him from talking to Caroline earlier. Pulls out his Zippo, lights his cigarette. So what's so important about this train car anyways?
You're saying that to one of the gunmen?
Just aloud. He's not really addressing anyone. He's just kind of musing out loud.
One of the gunmen overhears you. Comes over to you and looks down at you and is like, "Zip it if you want to live."
Hey, look. Between you and me, if I was going to die, this would be a heck of a way to go. I'm just curious as to what you want to do with this train car. What's so important? I'm curious.
This train car has, there's a quick head count, 15 passengers. Way I see it, New York City considers 15 passengers worth $1 million, probably. That's what's so important.
I think you're thinking too small, kid. How are you going to get out of here?
Oh, that's for us to worry about.
How you
You never mind our plan. Eventually, the car switches tracks and goes through some tunnel that is darker than the others. Not that a train tunnel is not dark, but this one doesn't have active lights throughout the tunnel. Service tunnel or an unused part. Anyway, they stop the train there. And at that point, one of the gunmen takes the conductor's radio and says, "This is Pelham 123. Or rather, this is the hijackers who've taken 15 hostages aboard Pelham 123. Over." And someone eventually responds on the radio. Says, "What do you want?" And the guy says, "We want $1 million. And we're gonna kill one hostage every minute until New York City delivers us $1 million. You have 60 seconds to make up your minds before we kill the first hostage. Over."
Ari, help.
Right. Let me see if I can wire him the money or something. $1 million shouldn't be hard to find, right? I mean, that's like what, $2 in our time?
Yeah, probably. Like $1 million is not a big amount.
Inflation.
All right, and Ari will start frantically seeing if she can intercept the call.
You want to intercept the call between the transit authority and the subway car.
This can only go well.
Yeah, she's going to try and see if she can sneakily intercept and listen into their call.
Oh, you just want to intercept and listen into the call. I thought you wanted to speak to either one side or the other. You just want to listen in. Yeah, you can hack in and listen in. That'll be an easy check. One success is necessary if you just want to listen in.
Because basically, on the cue that they say either yes or no, she's going to like put the money in there.
Hijack the call at that point. Okay, got it. So make a quantum physics mechanics check. We'll say difficulty requires one success at this point, and if you want to on that specific cue hijack it further, you'll have to make a second check.
You have one success.
You have your success. Perfect.
Sweet.
So you're listening in. So I'll say that you tune in just in time to hear the end of that conversation where they make their demands.
Okay.
If
what
you'd
does
like.
she hear when she intercepts in? Does it seem like the guy is going to say yes or no?
Well, you haven't. The part of the conversation you heard was, we have 15 hostages, and we're going to kill one hostage every minute until New York delivers us $1 million. And then he said you have 60 seconds to make up your mind, and that's all you heard. They haven't called back yet.
They're killing off one person every 60 seconds until they get $1 million. Or they're going to kill off a passenger until they get $1 million. I know that's only $2 in our time, but I doubt that you got your card with you in this day and age. You never have your card with you. How many times do I have to tell you to please take your card with you when you travel? It would really solve us a lot of this ATM bullshit that I'm having to do. But nonetheless, you're going to have to try and make sure that Caroline is at the back of that train, or the least noticeable person there. Is she blonde, or is she pretty, or is she? Does she stand out in any way? In any sort of way? Does she have amazing hair? Does she maybe have the best eyes you've ever seen? Whatever it is, it's all flaws at this point. We don't need that, but she doesn't want to stand out.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I could try and double bluff him. What if I put a gun to her head?
Hang on a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to try something.
DM.
Yes.
Can you give us an idea of some other people on the train? Just
Sure.
other passengers?
So there are 7 gunmen and 15 passengers, including the 3 of you. So there's a dozen people. Other than that, there's some men, some women, some teenagers. I'm gonna say there's no small children, just to be nice. But there's various people of different walks of life. You see, if you're looking for people that could help you in a takeover or a fight back or a rebellion, there's a couple tough looking dudes that look like maybe they might be MMA fighters or who knows what. But other than that, it just looks like average people. Is there something specific you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for like a really, the guy who looks the most normal. Like it could be anybody.
Yeah, sure. There's a guy wearing a red sweater, a red hoodie. Just looks like some guy, some Joe Blow. Particularly average looking, brown hair, big chin.
I want to gesture. I want to gesture to one of the gunmen, like kind of with my head, and like kind of like point my head towards that guy, and then I want to lean in and whisper, kind of just so people kind of just close to me would hear this, and I would say, "That's Jimmy Carter's little brother, and you're trying to get out of here with just $1 million. Do you guys not know this city?"
Make a bluff check. Bluff plus chutzpah.
I'm gonna go ahead and launch some moxie in there too.
Okie dokie.
Moxie.
3 successes. The gunman looks at you, then looks at the Joe Blow in the red hoodie, looks back at you, says, "Thanks for the tip." And then he goes over and says something to the gunman that has the radio, giving you the distinct impression that the one with the radio might be leading this whole troop. And the gunman with the radio looks at him and says, "I don't care. I don't care about the money. It's about sending a message. The money is just the means, the vehicle."
Jesus.
The other guy says, "Well, I care about the money." "Yeah, and you're gonna get yours if you stick to the plan."
Hey, Caroline.
Now stop talking to the hostages.
Hey.
Yeah?
See the gunman over there? Tell him that you just
Wait, how do you know my name?
Don't worry about that right now. Look,
Babe, you just heard the song Sweet Caroline for the first time, and now you can't stop telling every woman that they're called Caroline.
I just heard the song.
In 1969, it's relevant.
I just heard the song Sweet Caroline the other day, and I've been calling every girl I meet Caroline. Lucky coincidence, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, ba, that one, you know? Look.
Did that come out yet?
Fun fact, Sweet Caroline came out in 1969 by Neil Diamond.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, you know the one. It's on the radio all the time. Look, listen.
Oh.
Listen, the gunman over there. Tell him that you just overheard the boss talking about not caring about the money.
I don't know if I can do that.
Look at you. You got all the things. You got hair and eyes. You got it. You can do this.
Just then, the guy with the radio says, "Time's up. That's been 60 seconds. Is my money here?" And the guy on the other end says, "Look, what can I call you, sir? If we're going to have a conversation, I should at least know what to call you." And the guy says, "This is a stalling tactic, isn't it?" He's like, "No, if seriously, I'm just wanting to know who I'm talking to. My name is Jeff, the transit authority person, and you are.
God damn it!
The guy
Jeff's gonna
says-
get us all killed.
Jeff
guy
is ruining
says-
this helmet.
John. You can call me John.
Jeff and John, who is this? The flower pot man.
And then Jeff says, John. Do you have a last name, John? Yeah. John Gotti. You can call me John Gotti. Now,
Aaron,
where's my money?
Aaron, does that mean anything?
Ari,
I'm going to quickly Google it for you. Don't worry, I'm on it. Google is the most important thing in the future. All right. Okay, so it looks like he was an Italian-American gangster who became boss of the Gambino crime family in New York City. Gotti and his brothers grew up in poverty and turned into a life of crime at an early age. You might want to go with that.
As you're listening to this description being given to you by Ari over your ear, you're paying attention to two things at once, but you hear the guy yelling, John, yelling at Jeff, listen, Jeff, you've got 15 people here and you're trying to make small talk. I told you one person would die every 60 seconds. Are you trying to make me into a killer here? And Jeff says, you've already killed someone. Don't push it into two. And he's like, too late. Time's up. And he pulls out his gun and he points it straight at what did you say, Wally? What did you say that kid's name who was the brother of the rich person?
Jimmy Carter. He's the
Jimmy
he's the
Carter.
president.
He points his gun straight at the person you identified as Jimmy Carter, whether or not that's actually Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy
And
Carter.
he pulls the
brother.
trigger, and Jimmy Carter, whoever this kid actually is blown away, falls to the ground in a heap of blood. And John says, you've got another 60 seconds there. This kid, Jimmy Carter, just bought you 60 more seconds. Now, my money better be here the next time I call you. That's enough for me. And he hangs up the radio.
Well, your boss just went and killed your meal ticket. So, tough luck, kids.
Ari, make me a brains plus historical data check.
Thank you. You knew exactly what I needed and wanted in this moment. I was like, I want to look and use all the information I just totally Googled.
Totally Googled, yeah.
Totally Wikipedia'd.
Yeah.
All right. But
I've heard that the McWiki is quicker than the wiki because of the McQuick.
oh wait, I did math wrong. I'm sorry, I totally mathed wrong. I think
You rolled 7d6. Were you supposed to be rolling 7?
I meant to be roll it because it's a historical plus my brains thing together, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, I rolled wrong. I meant to be rolling 10 because I'm hella smart, guys.
I mean,
You are hella smart.
I mean, you've already got 4 successes. Do you need more? Okay.
Oh.
You got 2 successes. What did Wikipedia tell you? I'm curious.
All right, so Wikipedia. This is like an educational moment with Madame Gandalf. Wikipedia did also tell me that he has got hundreds of millions of dollars from racketeering, hijacking, loan sharking, drug trafficking, bookmaking, prostitution, extortion, pornography, illegal gambling, and other criminal activities, but also that he was taken down by one of his own people. Sammy the Bull, Salvatore Gravano, Sammy the Bull, aided the FBI in finally convicting Gotti. If you are able to find Sammy the Bull, you may be able to take down Gotti now rather than later.
Since you got 2 successes, Ari. Since you got 2 successes, did you cross-reference that information about a John Gotti with dates?
I think I
Because
could
there is a
have
mobster
it.
named John Gotti, but when you do your searches in the historical database, you also find information about another John Gotti that comes up in the correct time period.
Because I mean, this John Gotti was also October 27th, 1940 to 2002. So, but he
fancy
did,
that. So
we have his
that
son.
would absolutely fit because he's a gangster. There's also, but since you got 2 successes, I'm going to tell you there's also another little blurb on your search through history that says John Gotti might also refer to the pen name of an author who wrote a book called The Taking of Pelham 123.
Right.
Which was later made into a movie that was released in 1974.
Why are there so many Gottis in this world? Gotti
Gotti.
darn.
It was a
Mother
pen
of
name for
Gotti.
an author who was actually named Morton Friedgood. Was his actual name. John Gotti was his pen name, but yeah. So it's definitely probably one of those 2 people.
He's definitely one of those 2. He's either this American gangster, or it's his son, but his son would only be 10. He continued on the gangster lifestyle and was also called John Gotti, or he is this. He's using a stage name, and he's actually a writer from Queens.
And what did you say? What did you say the writer's real name was? I'm going to take a gamble on that.
Morton Feldman.
What?
Try Morton Feldman, Elwood. Try Morton Feldman.
Morton Feldman. Right. All right.
How does he look? Does he look a little strange? Does he got big glasses on?
Yes. I'm not as
Does he-
accurate.
Sure. You can have
Does
glasses.
he have big floppy hair that kind of looks like Leonardo DiCaprio in the 90s had too many problems?
Can you dumb that down a little there, Ari?
Greasy with a slicked back center part.
Sure, close enough.
Then give it a go.
Hey, he's so far he's shot 2 guys, right?
He has killed 2 people.
Ari, is there anything in there about him maybe being, I don't know, nervous around women or something?
But you're gonna try and seduce him now, Elwood.
Well, no, I'm not. My eyes flicker towards Caroline.
Are you seriously considering put... Elwood, if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, please don't put our suspect or our target in danger by sending her out to flirt with him. I know that she's a very pretty lass, but
Ari, you know what sets me apart from the other agents? You know what sets
I'm
me...
having a panic attack here.
It's alright, it's alright. You know what sets me apart from the other agents? That word that's like 4 syllables, you know, the one that means you're different?
You mean the word...
No, not that one. Unorthodox, that's the one, unorthodox. Hey, Caroline.
Yeah.
Guy looks real nervous. Now I'm gonna part my jacket so you can see my gun. Look, I'll cover you. Why don't you go and try and rattle his cage a little bit. Tell him his name's Morton Feldman. That you knew him at school or something.
What if that doesn't work?
Then I'll shoot him. You'll be okay. And Wally there, he's got a gun too. He'll watch your back too. We both got your back.
You're together?
Kinda.
Are you in the government or something?
I revealed my FBI badge. Very, very discreetly. You got this, kid. Maybe there'll be a career in the FBI for you, or maybe in some kind of telecommunication or something.
Okay. All right. I'll try, I guess.
You got my money yet? He says, pulling Jeff up on the intercom, and the guy on the other end says, "Sir, Jeff has been replaced. I'm FBI agent Mulder. FBI agent Mulder. We had to relieve Jeff because he's not authorized to make negotiations with terrorists. God damn you, Mulder! Put Jeff back on the line. He's the one I want to talk to."
Yeah!
"Sorry, sir, but I can't do that." "Mulder, you're gonna make me kill someone." "Sir, I need to stress that I am the most qualified person to handle these negotiations to get you what you want." And he says, "Well, what I want right now is to talk to Jeff." He says, "Jeff's already left the building." "Fine." And then he pulls out his gun and he points it right at the guy sitting next to Wally and blows him away. And Wally, you get some blood on you.
Wally takes a drag from his cigarette. Well,
and then
time's ticking.
John puts the walkie-talkie, the radio, right in your face and says, "Tell him what just happened."
Yeah, so the guy in the glasses, he blew away some poor defenseless guy
Old
next to
man.
me on the subway.
An old
yeah,
man.
some old guy. He just blasted him.
You hear that, Mulder? And it was all your fault. You killed him. I did it. Now put Jeff back on the phone. And Mulder says, I'm really sorry. Here. And then a second later, "Yeah, it's me. It's Jeff." "Ah, Jeff, you made me thinking that you were abandoning me here. Now, listen very carefully. My demands have changed. I still want $1 million. There are 12 passengers, 12 hostages left who are depending on you and the city of New York to get me $1 million. But this is very important. There's a certain man who lives in New York, and his name is Timothy Dwyer. He's gonna deliver me the $1 million, or else everyone's gonna die.
I can
You
get
got
that
a
for
minute. You got 60 seconds before the next
get that
hostage
for you.
goes. Is that what you're saying that out loud?
you. Yeah.
You're shouting that at the at the guy? Hang on, Jeff. Something just came up, and he hangs up the radio. And he comes right over to you into your personal space, like really too close for comfort. And he says, "You know Timothy Dwyer?
I work for him.
You do you? That's very interesting. What luck! You know, it's about time fate started throwing things my way. What do you do for Timothy?"
I work with technology. IT.
Technology. IT. So you're smart then.
Yes.
Good. You're going to help me get what I want. Maybe you can save a few more lives, he says, pointing a gun right at Elwood's head to make a point.
I don't want that to happen.
Then come with me. And he grabs you by the arm, and he takes you to the conductor room at the front of the train, unless anyone is going to try to stop him.
I look back at Elwood as I'm going.
I think I make a look towards Wally. Like, is this it? Do we?
There are still 7 gunmen.
Well, there's a thing.
So to be fair, one of the gunmen has Caroline in one hand and a radio in the other hand, so his gun is, holstered. But so 6 gunmen who are at the ready.
So there's a thing you might not know about Wally. Not only was he top of his class in the academy, he's also an expert marksman. And he's at it about up to here, people getting blasted on this train. And so I think Wally's going to have to do his own Eldritch Blast. And he is going to get real violent up on this sucker.
So he's going to attack John. John, who's really possibly a guy named Morton.
At this point, I don't know that there's a lot of choice. This woman is kind of the key to this whole scenario. It's the whole
sure
reason
is.
on this train. She's kind of become intertwined in his fate, and he feels like he needs to stand up and do something about it.
Okay, so
As I see
lay of the
Wally-
land.
As I see Wally rising, I want to try and rise with him, but I'm going straight to Ari. Like, Ari, shut off the lights.
All right, on it, Elwood.
Okay. Ari, you can make me a quantum physics plus mechanics check. And this is going to require 3 successes, and you are using paradox dice.
All right, I believe I have 1 advantage left, and I am going to
You do.
use it because I'm that person with that kind of luck. All right, 1 and 2.
The Eldritch Blast.
Okay, so it looks like the first one was kind of more successful,
You got 2 successes on the first one,
but a 3 on the paradox dice.
which is not a success, and 0 successes on the second one, which is not good. The lights flicker, but they don't exactly go off. What do you guys do? Lights are still on. Lay of the land. Elwood, you are the closest. You are right next to Caroline and John / Morton. Wally, you're a couple seats back. There is 1 gunman between you and them. Now, you don't know necessarily how willing to get his hands dirty this gunman is. You haven't seen him kill anyone. The only person who's done the killing is the guy who is now holding on to Caroline. But he does have a gun. He is between you and them. So,
All right,
what do you guys want to do?
How close is the closest gunman to me?
He's right next to you. You could jump
All
him
right.
if you want.
So
Try to get his gun.
in one clean motion. Well, I mean, you can tell me if this isn't true, but I mean, as a PI in New York City, I imagine that Wally would probably carry a Heckler and Koch P9.
Oh, for sure.
Undoubtedly. In addition to
He
that,
has one
he's
on his
also-
hip, and he probably has a little small one in his boot.
I imagine.
Imagine.
I believe he's going to take a shot straight at John, and then immediately take a hostage of his own after neutralizing the main threat. And he's going to try and get everyone else calmed down, and try and help the situation that way.
Okay, so you want to shoot John, who is holding on to Caroline, without hitting Caroline. You want to then immediately grab the guy that's next to you without him, and turn him into a hostage without him pulling his gun on you. Sounds like a pretty difficult task. We're going to say that this is definitely a guns plus violence check. Guns plus violence check, and I want 3 successes, and you know what? You just unlocked it. You're gonna use paradox dice. Here I was thinking the only people that would use them this session is Elwood and Ari, but Wally wasn't even supposed to be on this train, and he's shooting at someone else who's not supposed to be on this train. So that's definitely worth paradox dice.
All right, so I've got a 2 in violence. I've got 2 moxie, so that's 4, in addition to a 5 in guns. I'm going to be rolling 9 node.
You have advantage as well.
Awesome. And yes, on the paradox dice.
Well, twist my arm.
Uh, 5 successes. Wow. Good stuff. So, like the action hero that Wally Eldridge is, he pulls out his gun and blows away John Gotti. Shoots him, who immediately falls to the ground. However, as he gets shot, his grip on Caroline's arm turns into like a death grip. Like he grips harder because he just got shot. And he pulls her down with him. You then reach up and grab the nearest gunman. You hold him. You get behind him and you hold him with his gun to the head, and you hit him so that he drops his own gun to the floor. The other 5 gunmen react quickly, raising their guns and all pointing them at Wally. Elwood is also standing up, but Wally definitely, with this stunt, has their attention. What is Elwood looking to do? You'll right in front of you is Caroline, who has been pulled to the ground. A bleeding out John Gotti. He's bleeding out. He's definitely dying. He was hit in a key artery. He's not going to live much longer, but he is reaching for his gun with one hand and gripping Caroline with the other hand.
Ari, if we're moving at a train speed and I use the hat, what happens?
The train stopped.
Oh, is it stopped?
Yeah, they stopped the train. They stopped the train a while ago before they contacted the tram authority and started making arrangements.
Fantastic.
It'll do nothing, Elwood. You're standing still. I know that while traveling through time.
However, you
I know
are
that while
underground.
traveling through time, it will make you feel a little funky, but I promise you, you're standing still. It's like when you've got your sea legs after you've been on a ship, and you get off the ship and you still feel like you're bobbing up and down. Yeah, that's how you're feeling right now.
Ari, which direction? 1,000 feet in which direction? We're in a
What are
tunnel.
you asking me right now?
We're in a tunnel. I can't see. Which way do I take her?
Oh, right. Let me look that up. And yeah,
I would like to check to see where is the nearest exits. Where are the?
You could go
Subway.
1,000 feet straight up. You're probably not 1,000 feet underground. If you go 1,000 feet in other directions, you most likely, if you pick wrong, you might end up in a wall. But
well, if you go straight up, you're probably gonna cause some havoc, but at least you'd be out for sure. If you head anywhere else, well, you're either going into another tunnel or into a solid wall, and I can't help you if you're in a solid wall. In fact, you're backed.
I heard
I'm
go.
back.
I heard go up, Harry. I heard go up. I'm gonna grab Caroline's ankle and touch my hat to go up.
okay.
Oh, gosh, Mother of Palor. Let me see if I can try and do something to make sure this doesn't go as awry as I think it will do.
Well,
Your
that's...
hat.
Can I
Yes.
yell out something? I'm
Yeah.
gonna point at Wally and I'm gonna tell him, "That's my father. If you shoot at him, I am not going to help you."
No, that's a plot twist.
Wait.
Wait, what?
Who are you pointing at when you say that's my
Wally.
father?
Wally, I am. It's a total bluff, but
You're saying Wally is your father?
yeah.
And if the gunmen shoot Wally, you won't help them? Okay. Make a bluff check, I guess. Meanwhile, Scrat, your hat is only calibrated for 2 people.
Yeah, I
Max.
when I hear her call that, I belay that. I'm
You're belaying the hat?
I'm like leaning towards her ankle, and I'm like, whoop, oh, whoop,
Is it just bluff?
Yes. Well, bluff plus chutzpah. Scrat, your hat is calibrated for 2 people, and John is definitely still gripping Caroline, so you don't know what would happen right now if you went with
That's 2 total. 1 is negative.
Okay. If you'd like, I don't think you've used any Moxie. You can also use Moxie to increase your node.
Oh yeah, do that actually.
Elwood, remember when I told you
I'm
to
gonna
make sure
put-
that they didn't stay in the spotlight? You're fucking that up. You're fucking it up completely.
And
I'm putting in 2 Moxie. So
You have 2 advantages as well.
Yes, you could use advantages to just re-roll your whole thing too.
I think I'm gonna do that as well. So it's the sum of the nodes. Okay.
Yes, you add the numbers together. If there's a negative, you don't. You pretend as if it was a positive, for the purpose of determining your node. And then if you also are using Moxie, you increase by
I'm using
1 for
2
every-
Moxie.
Yeah. So then you increase by two node as well.
Oh, okay. Hold on. So it's
And the fact that you have a negative means that if you have failures, those will count against your successes.
Does the Moxie get rid of the negative though?
Nope.
No. Okay.
You're still rolling with a negative skill. You're not good at lying, is basically what that means. So you got 2 successes and 2 failures. So
I'm using the
break
advantage, so I'm
even.
gonna try again.
Go for it.
Same.
Same thing. You break even. I'm gonna say that they don't necessarily believe your terrible lie, but they do. They are confused enough to by this whole turn of events that they aren't sure exactly what to do. But the leader is on the ground, bleeding out, probably dying because you got a really good hit on him, Wally.
He also wasn't gonna give you any money. He wanted it all for himself.
He
Yeah.
He reaches for his gun and pulls it out of his holster and points it to Caroline's head. And looks at Elwood right in the eyes and says, "Save me or she dies."
I blow him away.
You blow him away?
I blow him away.
You blow him away. Okay.
I
This
feel like
is
this is the
going-
appropriate time to tell everyone I have -6 in guns.
Okay. Violence plus guns check, please.
That's that's 9.
9, yeah.
One of them is a
9,
minus.
Uh-huh. So every failure counts against your successes.
Oh, come on, roll 20 like if there's ever been a time. What about Paradox die?
Definitely Paradox.
Okay. Woo!
Neither of you are supposed to be in this train.
Oh, I have an advantage. Can I roll it posthumously?
Sure.
Posthumously. I mean post rolling.
Go for it.
Okay. We got this. Come on.
5 successes with 4 failures, which adds up to
And
okay.
Paradox dice is a success as well, right?
Correct. So that's actually 6 successes to 4 failures. So that counts as 2 successes. You pull out your gun and you blow him away.
Yeah.
His head splatters all over the ground before he is able to pull the trigger on Caroline. All hell breaks loose as the 5 remaining gunmen fire their guns. Some of them are going to shoot at Elwood, and some are shooting at Wally and the hostage, without care for hitting the hostage, I will add.
In hearing the
Guns going off just over over Elwood's thing.
Over the intercom, sure.
Can I try turning off the lights again?
Sure. Why not?
All right.
Let's allow it.
Cool. Otherwise, I'm really gonna be McFired. I'm gonna get a McMigraine. I'm gonna get freaking Okay. So that's
Somewhere the director, Mackenzie says, somewhere the director knows something has gone very wrong in the universe. I believe she does, yeah. The director knows all.
I got 1 success.
Ooh. 1 success.
Could I maybe make 1 light spark if it doesn't
I will
turn off the rest?
say that this makes the lights go off. That for some reason, trying to make the lights go off now is easier than it was the last time. As if there is less interfering with you.
I'm guessing it's almost like when you just keep smacking the N64 and finally it starts working.
Oh my god, that is not how you treat an N64. What?
The lights go off.
Blow. There we go. Yeah.
The lights go off and all of the guns also go off. Flashes of gunfire fill the room and people scream. Stray bullets going everywhere. Wally and Elwood, do you also, in the darkness, try to shoot at the people that are shooting at you?
No.
I mean, I would probably more likely go down than try to
return fire.
Crossfire. I mean, I do have a hostage in front of me, so kind of like a body shield type scenario.
Oh yeah, he's totally not surviving this shootout for sure.
So I mean, I'm gonna kind of use his body to shield me as I go down and try to not get shot.
I am gonna throw myself onto Caroline, and you know how you said I don't know what happens if I use the hat with more than one person? Well, the other guy's dead, right? So he won't be transported.
The other guy's dead. I'm
safe, right? It wouldn't transport a safe body 1,000 feet up.
You're throwing yourself onto Caroline and teleporting 1,000 feet up.
Logic works.
Yeeting myself out of here.
This is definitely going to be a sci-fi tech plus chutzpah roll.
Okay. I have a -1 in sci-fi tech.
I know you do. I'm looking at your character sheet.
So that's a 4. I could use Moxie, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna use Moxie. Not right now. I could, but I'm not.
Yeah, you need your Moxie for several episodes, and they don't come back that quickly.
And I've already got burned for a quarter of them. Okay, so
I know.
I'm gonna just roll the 4. Am I paradoxing still? Is this a paradoxical
yes.
polyhedron?
Yes. You got 2 successes, mate. You appear. Let's say. How deep underground were you? You're going 1,000 feet straight up.
Well, Ari
How
said.
tall were the buildings? You appear, let's say, I'm going to say you appear about 60 feet. 30 feet. I'll give you this. 30 feet off of the rooftop of a building that was on top of the ground.
Like
and you fall 30 feet.
Above. Okay, yeah, not like 30 feet away from, because that would just be cruel.
No, like you were under a building, 1,000 feet up, you're on top of a building now. Caroline and Elwood, you can both make me an athletics plus chutzpah check to see if you break a leg or something, falling 30 feet onto the rooftop.
No minuses for me.
I have a lot of minuses, so I'm gonna use like 4 Moxie for this.
Go
and
for
you
it.
have advantage as well.
Yeah.
I do not.
No, you don't.
Okay. So that's
Paradox polyhedron?
10.
No paradoxes for this. Wow. Caroline, nice. Caroline's fine. And Elwood is fine too because you didn't have any negatives. If you did have negatives, though, that would have been bad.
Yeah, no negatives. Thank God.
So you guys both land safe and sound on the rooftop. Caroline might be freaking out because you just teleported, and it's 1974. But you're safe and sound on the rooftop.
What just happened?
Oh
Who
my
are
God.
you?
What the hell just happened? Did that just happen to you too?
LSD,
Yes.
LSD. Blame it on the LSD.
Elwood, your hat is on fire.
Oh my.
Your hat.
LSD, I repeat, LSD, LSD. It becomes less popular next year. LSD, LSD.
Hey, it must have been that line of LSD that I put in my cigarette, maybe. Oh, did that hit you too?
I've never taken drugs in my life. How would?
Oh man, it must have been secondhand smoke.
We were just on the subway, and now we're on the roof of a building. This doesn't add up.
I tell you, I'm
No.
never smoking again. I tell you, that's out of here. That's Can I?
Who
try
are
and-
you?
I'm.
Why did you try to save me?
I beg your pardon.
Who are you, and why were you trying to save me?
What? No, you're
What
just
about
a.
everybody else back there?
My name's Fred. Flintstone. And you're just a pretty broad, you know. I was just
That's
you know.
the name of our cartoon character.
Shit, did that exist then?
Bro,
I believe it did.
I believe it did.
Yeah,
will
no,
you
sorry.
tell me
That's
the truth.
That's the cigarettes again. They're the ones that got me smoking in the first place. Camel. They did a whole ad thing. I don't know. Wow.
Can you just tell me the truth? What happened?
I'm lying through my teeth. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I don't know how we're up here.
Blame it on
Well, how do we get down?
blame it
How do we
getting
get back
worse.
to those people?
Maybe an elevator?
There's still gunmen on that subway, and I have somewhere I need to be. And there's. What about your partner? Didn't you have a partner?
Ari, is Wally important?
Well, he did have a few nice endings to his story. But right now you have left him in a terrorist situation on his own. Or, you know, in a heist situation on his own. So a
Looking-
heist situation on his own.
Looking into the history books, Wally Eldridge never did that much of note in his life, but he did have a son named Thomas Eldridge, and Thomas Eldridge went on to do something very important. Drew, what did Wally's son go on to do? Because your Time Lord Dungeon Master's drawing a blank right now.
Well, I mean, upon the very unfortunate death of his father in the subway in New York, the son became distraught, and he.
Oh, you already had a son. I thought you had a son after the fact, but okay, sure.
Well, his son became distraught, and he donned a mask with a bat shape to avenge his father, who was gunned down in the streets of New York.
Of course. So you know, nothing too noteworthy. You just created the world's first masked vigilante.
Overall,
I'm sure that won't affect history too much.
And this is how the Justice League timeline and your game's timeline intersect.
Sounds about right.
All I have to say when it comes to what you've created, Elwood, this is the first time I'm ever gonna ask you this, but why so serious?
We deserve that.
I don't get it.
You will when you get back here.
This is another one of them movie things that you watch.
I like old movies, okay? Oh, wait, I went into British mode. I like fucking old movies, okay? I really like the old movies. I really like the talkies and how they started off with their, like, oh, hey, we can save the world thing every time the world was dooming. We see a thing of that in film history if you look back on it.
Alright.
The
Look,
world's going to shit, let's create superheroes.
Caroline, if you just were on the same trip as me, whatever the hell just happened, then in that situation, I think Wally's got it covered. You know, he looked like he had military experience, and seemed real fit.
Hopefully my lie helped a little bit. I'm not very good at it, but...
Well, I think it helped a bunch, you know? They all hesitated for, like, a few minutes.
And that gave you the opportunity to shoot, so...
Yeah, and I did. I shot at 4 or 5 of them. Maybe I took out 6 or 7, maybe 8, 9. I hit a lot of them. I know I hit a lot.
Weren't there only 8 or 7 or 8?
Math ain't my strong point.
You both sound absolutely batty right now.
Anyway, look. What help are we gonna be down there? I'm just a schmuck. You're just a broad. I mean, we should just, you know, we should just go on with our lives, you know.
If you had talked to me 10 minutes ago, I would have, but I just feel like something needs to be done. Or maybe I should just tell my boss about this and he can help get this sorted out.
You should tell your boss. That's a great idea. I think there's a payphone in the lobby. Here, I'll spare you a quarter. Have you got change for a dollar?
Look, sure.
Oh wait, hang on. If you got change, you don't need change, do you? You're fine. All right, carry on.
Great job, Elwood. I could bet she really appreciates you now. Not only did you leave her stranded on a rooftop, not knowing whether she's been on an acid trip or whether she's just seen 8 people be shot before her eyes, but now you're also telling her she has enough change to get home. Fantastic.
All right, fine. Tell you what, take the dollar and away. There you go. It's yours.
All right.
So generous.
Thank you. Thank you for all of that, by the way. Whatever that was, however we got here.
It's weird. I don't know.
At this point, there's been weird things that have been happening, so I'm just gonna go. Thank you.
I mean, maybe it'll make sense in a couple of years. Maybe we ended like some kind of weird, I don't know, temporal time thing. Do you watch like the flick movies? Do you watch them? Have you seen the there's this one from England, you know, the Doctor Who? You seen that one? Maybe it's some weird shit like that or something.
Sounds familiar. I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't really have time.
Yeah, no, me neither really. My friend talks about it all the time. I think it's
It came out in 1963.
I'm trying to bluff not knowing about this. This is the worst time to know facts. All I know is it's real trippy.
Wired.
I'll just take my leave.
Okay, so Caroline, you part ways with Elwood. He is a little crazy for your taste, though. I mean, given what just happened, maybe crazy is sane and sane is crazy. Who knows? One is you try to go about your life. It's very hard to go about your life after you've been involved in a hostage-taking terrorist activity and then also experience teleportation. How does this impact Caroline going forward? Does she still go on to do the important things she was destined to do, or does this impact her so negatively that it sends her on a different path?
No,
she survived, so that's good.
If anything, it like makes her work harder because she's very confused on the whole teleport thing, and that kind of helps her like with internet sort of things. and how like things automatically transition to the next, and all that like technology, like computers. I'm just saying stuff. Yeah.
So you take this near-death experience to inspire you and work harder, and you know, it actually ends up paying off sooner rather than later, because here's what happens: you actually get fired because as a result of you not showing up to explain your boss's actions, his wife finds out he was cheating on her, and he blames you because he's a shit human being like that. He doesn't blame himself for cheating on her. He blames his assistant for not covering for him, even though you had a very good excuse. He fires you, but because of your experience with this situation, you actually get very quickly thereafter a much better job working on developing the internet, working with the people who merged the first networks to create the internet, and so on and so forth. And you make a name for yourself that way. Very important role in history. Wally, you die, but it is not for nothing. You go down in history as the man who saved the hostages on Pelham 123. You saved 9 out of 15 hostages, which is pretty good. And your son becomes Batman.
Could I suggest that maybe Caroline's old boss becomes a somewhat corrupt official?
No, you cannot.
I'm just thinking a future timeline where Wally's son maybe deals with a corrupt official.
I like where you're going with this. But no, you may not. I have plans for Timothy Dwyer. But Wally, you perish, but your death is not for nothing. You go down in history as the guy who who sacrificed his life to save as many hostages as possible in a crisis. All 7 of the gunmen, out of the 7 gunmen who was on that train, 6 of them died, and one of them was apprehended. And 9 people survived, and you are attributed as the hero for having done that.
I imagine Wally would be buried at Arlington.
Yeah. Plus, your son becomes Batman. What's more is you save the day. Pretty good. And you may not have successfully proven that Timothy Dwyer was cheating on his wife, but maybe because you died, she needed to hire another investigator, one who might have succeeded where you would have failed, perhaps. Not to say that you're not a great investigator, but maybe this other investigator just had a lead you didn't know about. He just out of sheer happenstance, the second investigator his wife goes to knew the person that Timothy was cheating with. So it just so happened that because you died, he was caught as cheating. There you go. That's what happens to those 2 characters. And Elwood, you go back to the future.
1, 2, or 3.
You go back to the future, and let's just say you get a grade of F. Your new director Mackenzie, she says it's not enough to accomplish your mission. You have to accomplish your mission without completely altering the timeline, so much so that the effect of accomplishing your mission ended up changing history worse than if you had not even tried. We are going to talk about this, Elwood. You're lucky you're one of our best field agents, and that we don't have too many other field agents because this is a top secret organization and training people takes years. You're lucky.
Elwood,
because you're this close to getting Never Been Born. As for you, Ari, you're commendable as always. You're working with... I understand what you're working with. But also...
Thank you, Director Mackenzie.
But also, keep him on a shorter leash.
Yes, Daddy. I mean, Director Mackenzie.
And you guys get relieved until your next mission.
Now, Elwood, next time, I please ask, let's not let 7 people die along this journey. That would be fantastic.
Hey.
To be fair, only 6 people actually died. There was one passenger, one of the 15 passengers was declared dead because he disappeared, but he was some FBI agent named, I forget what fake name you gave, Fred Flintstone. He was declared dead, but you know he didn't.
I do apologize. Technically, only 6.
Yeah.
The next time, please try not to do that. You're just lucky that this time that they were all dying on the toilet. I swear it must be some sort of Elvis Presley phenomenon happening in the 70s. Too many sandwiches and Long Johns while on the Long John.
Don't worry about the director, Ari. You know what directors are like. They're all smoke. They're all like, oh, there's a fire lit under my ass. The chief, he's gonna light a fire under my ass, and they're gonna light a fire under the sling that's under the thing, and that'll buy me some... They're all like that. Don't worry about it. This is my first conversation like that.
Well, just promise me that next time, Elwood, can you send the Wally back in place of you? That'd be great.
All right.
Could go back and save them, I'm just saying.
And you can see that Ari has like beer bottles around her like desk. She clearly has a coping mechanism.
Welcome, Raiders!
Oh, hi, the Greyhawk channel. Thank you so much
16.
for that raid.
Just in time for our epic conclusion. Ari, what were you saying before I interrupted you?
Oh no, it's one of those like end of the episode, like I berate him, he berates me, but you could tell that there's buddyship underneath this buddy cop kind of scenario.
Absolutely. All right, and that is where we will bring Step into the Quantum to a close. However, as a post-credits tag, elsewhere and else when, a man who has been asked to resign from his position as CEO of one of New York's greatest publishing companies, Simon & Schuster. Timothy Dwyer is in his penthouse smoking a cigar. Forced to resign. My wife and kids have left me. Sure, I've got all my money, but my life is over. And then another voice in the background says, maybe not. And he gets up and turns around and sees a shadow standing in the shadow. The unlit portion of his penthouse. And he says, who are you? He says, who I am is not important. What is important is that I know why your life fell apart today. I have the power to fix it. Are you interested? And we cut to black.
Fantastic. Fantastic. GG, everyone. Well, here we are at the end of the session. We're going to go the opposite way around. Tell us who you are, where we can find you online. And we are going to go on a raid today. I'll go and find someone to raid. Let's start with Drew on Twitch. Oh, hi, Drew.
You're muted.
Sorry. It was a pleasure playing with you guys. Wally Eldridge and his one final Eldridge blast was definitely a fun experience for me. If you would like to follow me for more dad jokes, as promised, you can find me on Twitter at Drew on Twitch. And if you want to play games with me, DM me.
I so glad you made that character was made purely for that pun, right? I'm calling you out right now.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
It was brilliant, and his Eldritch blast went down as a heroic last act. But hey, there's time travel, so I mean, just because he died doesn't mean we can't see him again. It would be a pleasure to have you back on the show. You've been fantastic.
I had tons of fun. It'd be an honor.
Why have fun when you can have an Eldritch Blast? Let's go next around to Rachel Kaiji. Oh, hi!
Hi, I'm Rachel. You can find me at RachelKYG on Twitter and Instagram. I had such a fun time with you guys. This was so great. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. You were fantastic.
Yeah, you were. Thank you so much. You brought so much character to such... Obviously, you were the MacGuffin of our plot. And for someone that, because of the nature of the story, didn't do much in the first half, you made the second half so important and so memorable. So thank you for playing that character and breathing so much life into her.
Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex, or Madam Gandalf. You can find me everywhere on the internet as Madam Gandalf. I'm a full-time streamer here on Twitch, and I do variety. So we have some cooking, face painting, some Dungeons and Dragons, a variety of games. Right now, I am playing a mixture of Death Stranding, Red Dead Redemption 2, and The Sims 4. So, like I said, variety. It really is. When I say variety, it's variety. So, thank you so much. And a few of the people from the Green Dragon also stream here over on Scratticus. So basically, make sure you're following Scrap, because communities merge, and that's the most beautiful part of Twitch. And so make sure you're supporting everyone you can that gets involved in this, because you'll find us everywhere. You really will.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Well
indeed.
said.
Last but most certainly not least, our DM for the day, our Time Lord, Joshua Barbo.
Thank you, Joshua Barbo. You can catch me on Twitter at Joshua Barbo. I had so much fun planning and playing out this story. This is just episode 1. We are planning 12 episodes. We'll see if we get through actual 12. It will depend on scheduling, but this is only the beginning, and there will be much more fun for Special Agent Elwood France and Temporal Engineer Ari Serrana. I can't wait for what comes next. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter, and you can find me here every Tuesday.
Okay, we need a raid cry, everyone. There's been a whole bunch of things we've said this session that are hilarious. We've got to have one there. Whilst we are having our suggestions, whilst we're having our suggestions for it in chat, check out our social links. Discord, growing community over there. Come and be a part of it. Twitter, send me a DM, and you can join this game or one of our other many viewer games this season. And YouTube, catch up on this and all the other sessions if you've missed any. Also, check out our sponsors, Mage Hand Press, who created the Dark Matter system, now available in hardback for pre-order. The Deck of Many. You've heard of the Deck of Many. That's not how you spell many. You've heard of the Deck of Many Things. You've heard of the Deck of Many animated spell things, I hope. And hopefully you've heard of the Humblewood setting as well, also available in hardback. They've got a Black Friday sale on their website right now. Go and check it out. And Hero Forge, where you can make minis like mine, shown in the break. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a lot of fun over there. It looks like possibly LSD is our raid cry. Am I right?
LSD. I repeat, LSD.
Yeah, really,
That was
LSD.
quite
I
memorable.
repeat, LSD.
Totally.
I
Elwood,
that.
tell her you're on LSD.
Coped. I repeat, coped. I mean,
Okay. So today we are going to go and raid Perception Studio. Everyone, please jump on, come and send them a follow, come and say hello in chat. Let's go and throw them a whole bunch of love. Until next time, we will be right back here. I'll see you on the Twitters and all the other places. We've got, it's premiere week, so there's a whole bunch of new premieres tomorrow and the day after. We are halfway through premiere week. Thank you everyone for coming along, and thank you guys for a wonderful game. Until next time, everyone, keep on evoking emotions. We will see you later on. Bye.
Bye.